In a resource-rich environment, like in the US, for example, especially in big companies, our approach to innovation tends to be one that's a little bit more expensive, or sometimes much more expensive. It's very often R&D driven. It's more linear in its approach, and it's top-down, so it's done by the people whose job it is to innovate. Whereas when we look at innovation approaches, particularly in emerging economies, the approaches really tends to be different. It's frugal innovation, and frugal innovation, like I say, is almost the opposite of the approach in Western economies, in that it's less expensive, it is more flexible, there's more agility and more improvisation in not only reaching a solution, but thinking about what a solution to a problem might be. And the final thing is that it's inclusive, and it's inclusive in two ways. So one is that it's inclusive in the sense that if we create a very low-cost product or service or business model, we're going to access a lot more people and allow them to reach that product, service, or business model. The second way it's inclusive is that it's more bottom-up. So it's not just the people in the white coats who are solving the problems. It's actually, it might be an admin person, it might be a janitor, it could be a consumer, it could be your competition. So that's the way we think about frugal innovation, as being more bottom-up. But very often in frugal innovation, especially if we look at grassroots entrepreneurs, where I started studying this concept of frugal innovation in emerging markets, it's usually someone who's experienced the problem firsthand. Companies who are successful with frugal innovation have to understand that, and not be afraid that their frugal innovations are going to cannibalize their existing more high margin offerings. Right? They have to understand that if you don't actually go the way of the frugal innovation, then you will go the way of, say, a Kodak or a Borders Books. You have to actually deploy these solutions before your competitors do. I want to make sure that we don't say that frugal innovation is a panacea. It's always the answer. It certainly is not. Frugal innovation is a way to augment current approaches to innovation. There are obviously many things that are working in many global corporations, but frugal innovation is a way to address cash-strapped consumers and their demand for high-value, lower-cost products, services, and business models.